This is hilarious. Welcome back, AM 1510, FM 93.7. I'm your host, Brandon Spano. This segment brought to you by the one and only Rock Restaurant and Bar right off of Smoky Hill Road. Can't get enough of the Rock off of Smoky Hill Road. It's just west of E470, south of Smoky Hill there. It's on Smoky Hill. It's on the south side, and it's in the shopping center. It's absolutely amazing. It's in the Saddle Rock community. Oh, my goodness. It's absolutely amazing. You got to, you definitely got to check it out. And right now, I'm actually going to give a $25 gift card to The Rock. Caller 5. Caller 5 gets a $25 gift card to The Rock. Anthony was last week's winner. He can't win again. He can't win again, Anthony, but anybody else can. The Rock, and actually, you know what? Before we do that, before we do caller 5, I shouldn't have said that. It is time to tell you who got rocked. Zach?
This next segment is brought to you by The Rock Restaurant and Bar. It's time to jump into last weekend's games and let you know
who got rocked. Well, actually, the guy who got rocked and will not get fair criticism is a guy who's playing right now. He's playing right now, and he's getting rocked. And his name is Matt Stafford. And he's been rocked all year, and he's getting rocked tonight. He's been rocked numerous times tonight. Matt Stafford, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if Zach knows where I'm going with this, but I'm about to crush. But Matt Stafford has been rocked all season long. When we look at the statistics for Matt Stafford, we see a guy last year who had a historical season, right? Follow me here. Follow me here. This guy had a historical season. He made history last year. He made history last year, right? You following me? His stat line last year, 41 touchdown passes, 8th most in NFL history. There's one. 63.5 completion percentage. 5,038 yards. Almost 8 yards a pass. Had a 73-yarder as his longest. Had almost 100 quarterback rating. Killed it last year. This year, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Stafford is on pace for a little over 3,500 yards. He is on pace for less than 12 touchdowns. He only has 4. He had 6 in 2010, and he only played in 3 games. He's played in 6 this year, and he only has 4. He's thrown 5 interceptions, more than touchdown passes, but we don't see anything about a sophomore slump from Matt, right? And this is Matt's 3rd year in the league. Or is this might even be his 4th. No, this is his 4th year in the league. But, let's be honest. He didn't play. His first year he played 9 games. Second year he played 3. So we'll combine it. We'll say that this is, 13 games in his first 2 years. I'm sorry. Yeah, he was 10 his first year. So 13 games his first 2 years. A full season last year. We'll say this is his 2nd season. We'll say last year was his 2nd. We'll say this is his 3rd season, okay? A guy in his 3rd season, and he's absolutely stinking it up. But do you hear the criticism? Do you hear the criticism? Are the Detroit papers crushing him? Are they calling him a bust? Has there been any comic strips written about him? Nope. Sure hasn't. Is he a joke in the national media? Nope. Sure isn't. Let me tell you about a guy that threw for 4,000 yards last year. And he also ran for 700. And he had 21 touchdown passes as a rookie. And he had 14 touchdown runs as a rookie. And he had the greatest rookie season any quarterback's ever had. His name's Cam Newton. He had 60 completion percentage as a rookie. 85 rating as a rookie. Much better than Matt Stafford did his first or second season. Much better. But he's in his second year. He's played 6 games. And this year he's on pace to throw for just about the same yardage that Matt Stafford's about to throw for. He has more touchdown passes than Matt Stafford. He has 5. Matt Stafford only has 4. His quarterback rating this year is 79.3. Matt Stafford's is 79.2. It's actually better than Matt Stafford. And his name is Cam Newton. But what's Cam Newton getting, guys? What's Cam Newton getting? I'll tell you what Cam Newton's getting. Cam Newton is getting crushed. Absolutely crushed. By the major media, by local media, by his own beat writers, everybody. People calling him a bust now. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's unwarranted. It's unfair. This guy's in his second season. He has an awful team around him. He doesn't have a big old offensive line like Stafford has now, which he does. He doesn't have Calvin Johnson to throw to. He has Steve Smith, who's about 5'8", if he's lucky. And what do? We absolutely crush the guy. We absolutely just crush the guy. Why?
Because he has 5 wins in his career.
Why this year? He has as many wins as Matt Stafford does this year. Why isn't Matt Stafford getting killed?
I'm not saying Matt Stafford shouldn't. I'm saying the criticism for Cam Newton is warranted.
Okay, why? I'm not saying that. Why? How come Matt Stafford's not getting it?
It's a good question.
Because he's a white pocket passer. That's why. That's exactly why.
No.
He's a white pocket passer.
Really?
That's 100% why. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Cam Newton's getting criticism because he's a black mobile passer. That's exactly why he's getting it. The second these guys falter, everybody wants to jump on him and throw him in the dumpster. That's a guarantee. Mark my words. That's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. Matt Stafford is a traditional white pocket passer. The guy's fine. No one's going to touch him, even though he's having a worse year than Cam Newton. And Cam Newton just had the greatest rookie season of all time. They're ready to, they're writing comic strips about him. Give me a break.
By your logic, a white pocket passer that's struggling isn't receiving criticism, which is patently untrue.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It just takes a lot longer. These guys are on a tight leash. I believe that the black quarterback's on a much tighter leash. A much tighter leash.
I simply don't buy that.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't. Most white people don't.
5 wins in 22 games.
I'm just telling you.
That's why Cam Newton's getting criticism.
No, he plays in a horrible team.
In 22 games.
His number 2 wide receiver is Brandon LaFell. Okay? He was the year before they drafted him, you know who their first round pick was the year before they drafted him? It was Jimmy Clausen. This team is built horribly. The GM just got fired because of it. He has nobody around him. He has nothing. The only reason they've even won the games they've had is because of him.
Do you think
the games they've lost, he was still the best player on the team.
Do you think it's possible that part of the criticism towards Cam Newton has to do with the fact that his college career was pretty controversial too, and not just this blanket race?
Maybe his
sentiment.
He took an Auburn team from nothing to an undefeated national champion, and then when he left, they were nothing again.
I understand that.
I mean,
but his college career was still
pretty controversial. I don't know if that's controversial to me or not. I don't know if you're the best college player in the nation, and you make a nobody a somebody, and then as soon as you leave, they're a nobody again. I'm not sure.
So we're just gonna gloss over the fact that his dad wanted to pay to play. That entire thing happened. Well, that's just gonna get glossed over.
So that makes him a bust.
No,
that makes him a bust.
What I'm saying is, don't you think rather than coming out and saying that all the criticism directed towards Cam Newton is race related,
I'm not saying all of it. I'm saying it's easier. I'm saying they're on a shorter leash. Bottom line, I believe it. If RG3 falters down the stretch, if RG3 has a tough season, they're going to crush him. I guarantee it. And what is he? This guy's a world scholar, right? This guy turned down scholarships to Stanford and Yale and all that crap, right? Right? But what do they do? I guarantee you. He gets it rougher than Matt Stafford.
I'm sorry.
I guarantee
I don't see it that way.
I guarantee it. I'm just telling you. I'm of course. I'm telling you. You're not going to.
Do not
Everybody wants to
accuse me of acting like, racism doesn't exist, because I don't agree with you on this, Spano.
I mean, everybody wants to pretend that there is no slight here for black quarterbacks, or that there's no reverse racism in sports, or racism in sports, period. Racism or reverse racism.
Cam Newton got booted from Florida.
It's the same reason why, listen, white guys are told to gain weight, they become fullbacks. White cornerbacks, they got to be safeties. Black quarterbacks got a very tight leash on them. I'm telling you. There's racism that runs rampant. Cam Newton's getting crushed. Matt Stafford, nothing. Nothing on Matt Stafford. The guy blows. The guy blows this year.
Nothing to do with the fact that Cam Newton got booed from Florida for stealing computers out of dorms. Maybe that's why he has a short lease with the media? Nothing to do with that
nothing
whatsoever?
To do with that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Other guys have done worse. Jeremy Shockey? You don't think Jeremy Shockey? What did he get in his NFL career? Anybody ever go after Jeremy Shockey?
Oh, yeah.
The guy was a dirtbag for his entire college career.
All the time.
Guy was the biggest dirtbag in his during college ever.
People go after Jeremy Shockey all the time. He's been called cancer, got accused of being a whistleblower. People go after Shockey all the time.
I'm just telling you, you get into the quarterback world, it's a little different story. You get into the quarterback world, how come Matt Stafford's not being called a bust right now? He's only had one good year.
You're right, he has.
He has. I mean, his first year, he had a 61 quarterback rating.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing
61.
That Matt Stafford...
His rookie year, he had a 61, and Cam Newton had an 85 quarterback rating. 61 for Stafford. In his first 13 games, his combined quarterback rating, 66. His first 13 games. Cam's first 16 games, 85. 85 for Cam. 85 for Cam the man.
You can keep carrying the torch for Cam Newton
I'm
if you
just
want,
telling
but
you.
if he can
I'm just telling you.
5 wins in 22 games.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
Where the criticism comes from.
The guy
5 wins in 22 games.
If anybody,
that does matter.
If
you
anybody,
were ultimately
listen,
measured on wins and losses, Brandon.
What happened with David Carr? They said, David Carr, great quarterback. He's just on a bad team. And you talk to people now, and they still say David Carr. They still say David Carr, one of the biggest wastes ever, one of the most talented guys ever, was sacked more than anybody in the NFL. I think like the top 2 or 3 most sacks ever in a season all belong to David Carr. And they say, man, guy was drafted on a bad team and had no chance, and it ruined him. What a waste. The guy could have been, if he was drafted by this team or that team, he would have been anything. If David Carr was a black quarterback, they would have said the guy sucked. The guy's Achilles Smith all over again. Guarantee it.
No justification.
I guarantee it.
For saying that.
I justified everything. What are you talking about? You want more statistics to prove it? I mean, you can throw. You want to go wins, losses? Okay, that's fine. Mark Sanchez is a hell of a winner, right? Mark Sanchez threw. What are you trying to say? Matt Sanchez had 70 quarterback rating seasons and went to AFC Championship games, throwing more interceptions than touchdowns.
Sure.
Okay.
But he looked good in the playoffs, and that's why he gets a leash.
What do you want?
I'm not saying he should get a leash, but that's why he gets a leash. Cam Newton
Give me a break.
Doesn't win. Period. He hasn't won.
Give me a break. The only reason why they've won this year is because he's
right.
It is because of him.
He's the guy that they win because of him, but when they lose, it's everyone else's fault, right?
And when they lose, he still almost made them win. He still got close to making them win, right? There was a game just 2 weeks ago, right? He had to try to do everything to will them to victory as much as he could. He ran for over 100 yards, right? Absolutely killed it. They still lost, right? And he took the blame at the end of the game. At the end of the game, he took the blame. Cam Newton took the blame. Never take the blame, Cam. Never take the blame, Cam. That's what I would tell him. 28-30 against the Atlanta Falcons, maybe the best team in football, the only undefeated team left, right? He had 119 quarterback rating. He ran for 86 yards. He threw for 2 touchdowns, and he ran for 1 touchdown, and they lost. You're right. His fault they lost to the best team in the league on that night.